I hope you guys very fun next up because fucking I'm not. We have Weedle. I don't know what thing he's gonna enter in. Weedle.
I'm literally right fucking here.
Fuck.
I'm
Oh,
right
no, fucking
here.
you're right. Here you go.
Fuck. Oh shit. She's blind as fuck. I'm glad they got the stool out here, cause you guys getting sit down comedy, cause I was told we're doing this comedy show and all this, and like any responsible adult, the night before I decided to get fucking plastered. I'm talking shit-faced. I still feel like garbage up here right now. And when I say plastered, I mean like I got drunk enough to send a fucking dick pic to somebody, but it was like a sad dick pic. You know, like I had whiskey dick, and I'm like trying to beat it. I'm like, and it just won't get up. And I send the picture anyway. Yeah, I send this thing anyway, and it looks like a sad, shaved, one-eyed rat. But I sent it to her anyway. I don't know if she liked it or not, but, I sent it. There it was. Like, my dick in this picture looked like it actually had an emotion, and that emotion was sadness. It looked like it was about to turn around and look up at me and be like, dude, I'm tired, I'm sick, fucking, I don't want this right now. And I'm like, I don't fucking care! So, that was my night last night. What I'm up here about right now is, and I've done this set before. Some of you may have heard it, some of you may not. I think that a lot of you haven't, but it was my first set up here, and it's about the job that I do. And the job that I do is I sit with psych patients, and I make sure they don't fucking hurt themselves, kill somebody, kill themselves, crazy shit, And I'm not here to talk shit on anybody that's ever been there. Fuck, they should put me in there. I need it. But yeah, so when you're working in psych and you go in, you can tell when they've got a bad one. You can just look at the looks on people's faces, and there's like, oh god, shit. Like it's awful, And I'm gonna get to a guy that you'll see how it gets awful. But I come in one day, and sometimes you question why somebody's there. And the reason why people are there is they could have even got like some laced weed or something, and sometimes that shit makes you psychotic. It just does. So I go in one day, and there's a guy there, and he's chill. I'm talking to him. He shows me his music, and his music's good. And I'm like, damn, like, this is killer, And I eventually, when I get the chance to, I walk up to the front, and I'm like, why am I sitting with this dude? He seems fucking normal. He seems ready to get the hell out of here. And they're like, well, you weren't here. Yeah, why are you always punching that dude? Fucking stop that shit. Don't do that here. We don't start fights. Quit. But I was like...
Thank you.
Exactly. Don't do that. But I was like, why is this dude here? He seems ready to get the fuck out. And they're like, well, you weren't here the night before. The night before, he was crawling around on all fours, barking like a dog. And when we got him to stop that, he stands up, beats off in his hand, looks at it, and just fucking slurps it up. And I'm like, no! What the fuck? Like, I'm hanging myself with my fucking cord right now, but he fucking slurps his own jizz up. And as I'm talking to him, I realize he doesn't remember a single bit about this. But I'm like, that's probably for the best. Let me fix this damn cord, Jesus. I'm like, that's probably for the best. That he doesn't remember that. Well, they decide to fucking tell him right when he's getting out. They're like, oh, by the way, you ate your fucking cum. I'm like, why did you tell him that? And at this point, he needs actual psychiatric help. He's like, no, oh my fucking God. Like, he can't believe he did that. Like, he actually needs help at this point. It was all over some laced weed, too. But, and that was one of the good ones, if you can believe it. So, I'm going to tell you guys about one of the bad ones. So, I come in one night, and that look on everybody's face I was talking about earlier, I can see it when I come in. And they're like, dude, you're probably going to be sitting with this guy because he's awful. But for tonight, you're just going to hang out with us. We're going to watch him. I'm like, okay, cool. And he walks by, and he likes Bengay for some reason. That, like, cream that you rub on yourself or whatever. And they keep giving him Bengay. And he's wiping it on the walls and shit. And he'll wipe it on the walls and look at you and be like, yeah, boy. He's rubbing Bengay on the wall. He rubs it in the phone and shit. Where am I going? There goes my tracking. He rubs it on the phone and shit all over himself. It's all over his face. And I'm like, well, goddamn. And we're sitting there, and we're watching the cameras later that night. And we see him in there in his room. And he goes over to his bed, and he grabs his blanket, throws it down, throws it down on the floor, sits down, and he grabs 4 cups that he's collected over the days he's been there. And we noticed earlier in that day that he had actually clogged his toilet up with shit and food and socks and whatever else is in that toilet. And we're like, we got to get a plumber out for this. We're not fucking with that. But he lays that blanket out, and he sits down on one corner just like I'm sitting on this stool, sits down in that corner. He's got his shit cup, and he sets a shit cup here, a shit cup in that corner, and a shit cup in that corner. And he's sitting there, he's dipped shit water out of the toilet. So he's sitting there with his shit cup, and he's talking like somebody's there, like somebody's in the room with him. He's having a good time, and we can hear him. He's like, hey, buddy, how you doing? I ain't seen you in a while, and just talking to these shit cups like somebody else is in his room, but there's nobody there. And then we see him just chug it, just down it. He just turns it up. And we're like, we're not dealing with that. I know. So what's funny is we can't put him down because, like, I'm not a doctor or anything, but we do some fucked up shit to psych patients to, like, test, because some people come in around my area and they just want drugs. I got a lot of meth addicts and shit in my area, and they come in and they just want drugs, so in order for, I don't know where he went. I was talking to him. Anyway, in order for us to like make sure they're not faking it, we'll change their medicine on them. Like, we'll have something that's working, and then we'll just be like, boop, and then just see if they go crazy again. But we don't tell them that because we want to know if they're faking. Well, we did that with him, and he started tweaking, and I'm like, that's kind of sick that we do that. Like, we got a psych patient over like, and they're like, yeah, he's fucking crazy, ain't he? It's fucking funny. It's like, you guys are fucked up. I don't know why we do that. But anyway, the night after the shit cup incident, they've still got him on different meds, and they're like, all right, you've got to sit with this guy because he just drank shit water, and he needs somebody sitting with him. So I go down there, and I'm sitting outside of his door, and he pops out a few times every now and then, says something retarded, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, buddy, you do you. It was an easy night. And I'm sitting there, and this huge fucking wood roach crawls out from under my chair. And if you guys don't know what those are, you got to be from the South. They look like a rad roach from Fallout. These things can drive fucking cars, and I hate them. This thing crawls underneath my chair, and it dead-ass turns around and looks at me. It's like, this the fucking roach does. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And just fucking stomp its ass, I killed the shit out of that roach. So that was my excitement right then for the night. Guy's throwing tomatoes. He's fucking animal rights activist or some shit over there. Can't even kill a roach. But, who's shutting up over here? Who? That guy? Okay, yes, Johnny. Shut up, Johnny. Okay, cool.
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm just fucking around with you. Anyway, so that was what was happening that night at the current time. But then 6 o'clock rolls around. What is happening to my tracking? You are right. 6 o'clock rolls around. And, we got a little dinger that goes off. It's like bing, boom. It lets them all know that they can get up and get coffee. So he gets up to go get his coffee. And we come out to the day room where he can drink his coffee. I'm still sitting with him, and he's eating an orange, and he takes part of the peel off, dunks it in his coffee, puts like his comb in his coffee, and all kinds of just fucked up shit. And we're just like, okay, whatever, you do you. And he's sitting there, and I'm sitting there with a tech next to me, and all of a sudden he looks up, and he's like, you know what? I want to watch the baby Jesus shit in a thong. I don't want to eat his toenails. And I'm just like, what? I'm just like, all right, man. You do you. And you got to let this shit go in one ear and out the other because, he's psychotic, And I try my best not to laugh. The tech next to me is going to hell because she busts out laughing at that. Well, the next thing gets me. Because then he looks at her. And he loves her. He's just infatuated with this tech. I don't know why, but he just loves her. He looks her straight in the eye, just lovingly straight in the eye, and says, you want to know what the best part of a woman is? And she's like, what? What's the best part of a woman? And he goes, her feces. You eat that shit and it makes a man strong! He stood up, did the flex and everything. So I was like, that got me. I bust out laughing at that point. I'm keeled over to laughing. And I'm the Tard Wrangler. Right as the Tard Wrangler is not paying attention, right as I'm keeled over dying laughing, he gets up to walk back towards his room. And I'm like, oh, fuck, where you going, dude? Where you going? And I get up and I go after him. Well, as he's walking to his room, he sees that roach that I killed the night before. And he goes to pick it up. And I'm like, no! And I go running after him down the hall. I'm hauling ass after him. And I see him put it in his coffee. And he rounds the corner into his room. And I'm like, no! And I'm running after this guy. I get up to the door trying to stop him from eating this. And as soon as I get to the corner, I just see this. And it is gone. The only thing left is the orange peel and the comb he had put in previously, which he's currently crunching in his teeth. The comb and the orange peel. Just. And so I get a little bit mad at him over that. And I'm just like, dude, why the fuck are you eating roaches and shit, And then he just blank stare at me. And he just goes over. And he grabs his blanket again. He throws it down. I'm like, what are you doing? He dead in the eyes, staring me dead in the eyes the entire time. Drops his pants, squats, and shits. Just right there on the blanket. Pulls them back up, doesn't wipe, staring me straight in the face. So I'm like, you're cleaning that up. That's not my job to clean that up. That's somebody else's. But you need to clean that shit up. And he just keeps staring at me. Drops his pants again, slowly. I'm like, what are you doing now? Starts beating his cock. And I'm like, what are you fucking doing? Well, then he takes a step towards me. He's beating his cock, takes a step towards me. And I'm like, dude, stay back. I don't play that shit. Stay back. Takes another step.
Oh, man.
Suddenly, he just breaks off. Full sprint running after my ass. And I'm running from him because I don't want to get raped. I'm covering my asshole. Running down the hall going, no! Don't rape me! Ah! He's just chasing my ass down. So, needless to say, that was the night that I realized how rough it can get in psych. I can deal with people punching, kicking, everything, but I can't deal with rape. I can't deal with rape. My asshole is virgin, and it's not having a cock in it. Hopefully ever. That's about all I got for you guys. But hey, first, before I go, I just need you to imagine it for a second, though. You know, you got a psych patient running after you. You got a psych patient running after you, okay? Pants around his ankles, but he's still keeping up with you. Just with a fucking cock, you know? Just, it's out like this. And he's like, ah! Can you imagine that shit? And I put it in your face anyway, because that's how rape works. That's how rape works. Alright, now I'll catch you guys later. Oh shit. Hey.
Good shit. That's your new line. That's a remix. Dude, that's fantastic.
Hell yeah.
Dude, fuck yeah.
Yeah.